The recommendation to widen the franchise by Sir Robin All following the Commission of Inquiry was to, quote, reduce the scope for political patronage, bribery, and electoral abuse. Attorney and candidate for PNP leadership Carlos Simons agrees and explains to what extent and why.
Essentially, what I say is that the population, Belonga indigenous population of the TCI is too small to sustain the level of economic activity and the diversity of economic activity that we need in order to maintain the standard of living that we aspire to. That's the first thing, and so therefore it is in the interest of indigenous belongers to do this, to allow it to happen, because their lives and their children's lives will improve as a result. We can either condemn ourselves to perpetual poverty by being inward looking and protective, or we can embrace the people who we invite to live among us for long periods of time and to make contributions to the development of the society.
In a statement, Simons lays out 3 proposals for how the process of enlarging the franchise should be carried out. Number 1, revision of the grant of belongership procedures to allow such persons who reside among us for long periods of time, have obeyed our law, accepted our customs, invested money, time, and effort in the development of our communities, raised families, and integrated themselves into our society to apply for and be granted belongership status. Amendment of the Elections Ordinance and of the Constitution to allow belongers by grant and belongers in the diaspora the right to be registered as electors for and to vote in elections for membership of the House of Assembly. Number 3, provision in the Constitution to restrict qualification for membership of the House of Assembly to resident indigenous belongers.
And the extension or enlargement of the franchise that we're talking about is really nothing new. We at the moment have a procedure by way of which persons from other countries are granted belongership. That in itself is a facility for enlarging the franchise. I think what we're considering at this stage is a more regularized system that is removed from the political sphere and dealt with, you know, in a, shall we say, a more open and what's the word that's used these days? Transparent way.
Simons says he is certain his proposed process for the enlargement of the franchise will in no way sideline indigenous belongers in the political process.
Well, you know, 2 things. First of all, we're not talking about a process that's going to result overnight in the electorate being doubled or tripled by the addition of everybody in Turks and Caicos who's currently a PRC holder or a work permit holder. That is not what is being proposed at all. What is being proposed is an orderly way in which people who, as I say, have lived here for long periods of time, and I'm thinking, at the moment, I'm thinking 15, 20 years, have obeyed the laws, kept out of trouble, established businesses, raised children, and made valuable contributions to the development of the country and the stability and prosperity of the islands. I can't imagine that number being so large as to distort the result of domestic elections, in a way that deprives the indigenous Belonga population of a voice.
Simons' position comes amid the continuous debate of constitutional and electoral reform currently being facilitated by electoral advisor Kate Sullivan. For WIV4 News, I'm Joy Del Trail.